Today, I'm going to give you all a tour of my newest sample pack. It's called Cosmic Session Sounds Volume 2. And then we're gonna make a beat from scratch using sounds from the sample pack. The idea with the Session Sounds Sample Pack series is that it's basically several months of live instrument session work all in one pack. So that includes 120 drum loops recorded right here on my drum kit, 40 drum fills, 40 hi-hat loops and percussion loops. It includes over 70 melodic samples, compositions on the guitar, piano loops, synth loops recorded right here on my Prophet. It includes a ton of one-shots recorded live on my kit. These are unique and you won't find them anywhere else. It also includes a ton of drum machine sounds that I actually designed from scratch. It includes a bunch of effects and just a ton more stuff. So with all that said, let's dive into it. I'm gonna start by showing you all some of my favorite drum loops from the pack. So let's go ahead and listen to a few of the session breaks. And here are some of the fills that are designed to be paired up with those breaks. So again, the idea with the session drums is that you have tons of inspiration at each of these different BPMs to give life and versatility to the rhythm section of your track. All right, so these signature drum breaks are probably my favorite drum breaks that I personally have ever created. With this section of the pack, you get 2 mixes of each break. You get a clean mix and a dirty mix. So there is a huge variety of different feels, tones, pockets within these signature breaks. These are from, sessions where I was making a beat with somebody or I was just jamming by myself, and they're not necessarily organized into BPM sections. It's just breaks that I really, really loved. So let's listen to a few of them. We're gonna start from the top and start rolling through. Now, I feel like this is actually a good moment to give you a comparison of a clean mix versus a dirty mix. Let's open up the dirty mix folder. So that break is called Have This Dance 168 BPM. Here's the dirty version of it. All right, so one more time, here's the clean mix. And here's the dirty mix. So the main thing that you'll notice as a difference between the clean and the dirty mixes is both are generally going to be heavy hitting. They're both going to be very full and rich in their tone, but the clean mixes are going to be brighter. They're going to be a little bit less crushed. They're going to be tighter usually, and the signal is going to be as clean as I could possibly mix them, as opposed to the dirty breaks. In the dirty break folder, things are a bit warmer, they're a bit darker, and with almost every one of these, I mixed in some noise. So that ranges from like vinyl noise to room noise. Let's listen to some more of those, and I think that you'll get the feel for what I'm saying. that is a solid overview of the breaks in the pack. Obviously there's a ton more, but for the sake of keeping this thing moving along, let's get into a quick overview of the Perc Loops and the hat loops. And then we'll do some one-shots and some melodic samples. So here's a few of the hat loops. We just start from the top, and I'll give you a few previews. With all the hat loops in this pack, I did my best to make them feel full without being over-processed, because I want you to still be able to mix them in whatever way that feels right to you with the one-shots. You know, if you want to add some of my snare and kick one-shots to it, or percussion one-shots without it being overly crushed. Let's do the Perc Loops real quick. There is a pretty huge variety in the Perc Loop folder. Some of these loops are really basic, you know, like 1 or 2 different instruments. Some of them have got a lot going on, you know, so I'll give you a quick overview. This one is one of my favorites. I've been using this one a ton recently. Again, I told you there's some busier stuff. That includes loops like this one. Some pretty unusual stuff too, like this. There's also some real classics, like these snap and clap loops. I think that's enough of the drum loops. Let's get into the drum one-shots real quick. Then we're gonna move on to the melodic stuff, and after that, we're gonna make a beat. All right, for the one-shots, there's so much good stuff in here. Let's start with the snares and rims. I'll start from the top and just start flipping through. Across all these snare one-shots, I really just wanted to give you variety. I want everything to be crisp and punchy and tight. You probably just noticed there are some rolls, there are some doubles, there are some rim shots that have snaps and claps mixed in, you know, so all over the place with the snares and rims. For the Perc folder, there's a ton going on as well, but you'll notice there's a little hidden folder right here, the drum machine sounds. Let's do a few of the basic percs and then we'll dive into the drum machine sounds. Now, I mentioned the drum machine sounds. Let's dive into that and hear what some of these sounds are like. I honestly had so much fun making these drum machine sounds. It would be really difficult to recreate these because a lot of these were made in session in a moment of inspiration. So I hope that you have a lot of fun with these. I hope that they bring life to your beats. They've definitely been bringing life to mine. Now, a quick look at the kicks and the hi-hats. These are just essential. For the kicks, there's a variety of feelings. You know, some are warmer and a bit softer. Some of them are kind of roomy and smacky, you know. So let's just flip through them real quick. These are my favorite kick samples that I've ever created, and I've been using them a ton, especially this Atlanta kick. The hi-hats follow this recipe that I really dig. It's 3 to 4 samples per hat. Generally speaking, a light closed hat, a slightly heavier closed hat, and then 1 or 2 open hats. So if there's 2, it's because one of them is long and one of them is pretty quick. So let's just flip through and hear a few. Okay, I think you all have heard enough one-shots. Let's move on to the melodic samples. I am so proud of this collection of melodic samples. There's a lot of stuff that I wrote with the intention of including it in a song to be published, or I wrote it for an artist, and it just never found a proper home. So I hope that some of you can give good homes to these loops, you know, make beautiful beats out of them, put artists who you love on them, and make something special with it. So let's hear some of the guitar loops first. Wow, I love that one. So I mentioned at the beginning of this video there are some melodic effects and one-shots as well. With the guitar one-shots, I'm really proud of these. It's just a handful of riffs and kind of like licks that you can include in your beats to make them feel like I was in the room with you and we're just jamming. So let's hear a few of those real quick. Woo. So let's move on to the piano and the synth samples, and here's some of those. These come from all over the place. Some of them I recorded on my Prophet. Some of them I recorded on my piano behind me. Each of these has a lot of my heart in them. So let me just show you a few of my favorites. Last but not least, there are some bass one-shots. I put a lot of intention into these bass sounds. They're pretty much half and half from the Prophet and from my actual bass guitar, which is hanging on the wall behind me. With 1 or 2 exceptions, I think that one of the 808s I might have designed in Serum or something, but you can hear a few of these real quick. And with each of those, the idea is drop it into a sampler and play it like a live instrument. If you really want to bring it to life and make it sound like it's yours, add some EQ, add a filter, add some distortion, and it should feel like a unique, real bass. It's time for us to make a beat. Let's get into it. I went ahead and dropped in a drum break and 2 different drum fills and chopped them together. I adjusted the BPM of each because the break that I wanted to use was at 78 and the fills were at 80. So I pieced it all together and it sounds like this. That's a really strong starting point. I really don't think it needs much. I've got a tiny bit of distortion on it and I think that's plenty. So let's go ahead and jam on it a bit. I'm gonna start with electric guitar and just play around and see if I can find something that I like. So I added 2 of the electric guitar ambient samples from the pack. I tightened up the bass a little bit, and honestly, I kind of feel like it's done for now. Of course, there's more that I could add. I might come back and add some synth parts to this later. But for the purposes of this, I think that the drums really shine right now on this beat, and I love where it's at. So let's hear the beat, see how we feel about it. If you made it this far in the video, thank you so much for rocking with me, for supporting my work, and for choosing to create with my sounds. I appreciate you so much. I'm so grateful for you all in this community, and I look forward to hearing what you make with the pack. Please make sure to tag me and send me anything that you make with these sounds. I would love to share them on social media with my audience as well. Cosmic Session Sounds Volume 2 is out now. Thank you again. I really appreciate you so much, and I hope that you have a magnificent week. Take care.